Craig Brewster took charge of Dundee United for what was to be his final time on Saturday for the game against Falkirk. Craig Levein today replaced Brewster in the Tannadice hot seat, signing a deal which will keep him at the Tayside club for the next 2.5 years. Falkirk paid the price for unforced errors last week in Inverness, and John Hughes, keen not to make the same mistakes, made his point by dropping goalkeeper Scott Higgins.
O'Donnell now, sweeping forward for the home side. He's got help here as well. Stokes to the byline, needs a good cross here, and Latapy. Russell Latapy makes it so difficult for Dundee United. Barely 2 minutes gone here, and Falkirk 1 up. Thompson feeding it forward, back it comes for Craig, that's a wee bit too much, and now the chance for Noel Hunt, and Noel Hunt has pace, and this is a real opportunity for 1-1 for United, and just at the death, Noel Hunt lost out. The Dundee United fans were looking for the penalty. Referee Dougie McDonald looked to his assistant on this side, he gave the goal kick, and Noel Hunt cannot believe a penalty was not given there. Alan Gow, ball nicely on his left foot, stinging drive, came back off Lee Mayer. Gow once again. Latapy, he of course can use both feet. Drinking run to the byline, and that's just brilliant. That's brilliant from Latapy. And it still might come for Falkirk, and it was close to a second goal as Patrick Craig hit that one in. And just once again, magic from Russell Latapy. Kraken's forward ball is a wee bit slack. It will come though for United, and perhaps a chance to shoot here. It's come off Noel Hunt, he might get a second opportunity. I'm not sure the keeper saved that. Did it come off the post? It was nearly there for United, it was nearly there for Noel Hunt. So close, yet so far. Falkirk come again. Stokes trying to worm his way through. It took 3 defenders to keep him out, but Stokes might get back in again, and this is Stokes, and that's a second goal for Falkirk, and that could be the killer as far as Dundee United are concerned. And that all goes down to Anthony Stokes. He made that himself, he'd lost the ball and he won it back again. He beat a couple of defenders to the byline, and from the narrowest of angles managed to slot the ball past the goalkeeper. Might be an opportunity here for Anthony Stokes, and Stokes with a drive and a third goal. That really will be that for Dundee United. And Stokes rifled the ball into the net, drilled it into the corner. Mark Kerr can't really get much into that. Russell Latapy was with him, might still come for United, and that was deflected. The goalkeeper had to do well and had to get there to stop it going out for a corner. The ball comes in, might come for Latapy, and Latapy with a drive, deflected. Mark Kerr playing against his former side, of course. Well, Jack Ross went in there, and in fact, I think he missed the ball. And that was because it was taken away from him by Noel Hunt, and Hunt receives a second yellow card and a red, and the day is all going horribly wrong for United. Mayer feeds it forward, Samuel. Grant Smith. Conway. 3-0 down to 10 men. What have they got here? Samuel, and it came off Colin Samuel into the net, and Dundee United back, perhaps, with something of a shout in this game. There's a long road back still. Latapy has a look, takes careful aim towards the far side, and there's Stokes, and that must be a 4th goal for Falkirk, as Mark Swaddle came in. It's his first league goal for the club. As Thompson feeds it forward. And a second goal was almost there. Stephen O'Donnell going through, and it was almost Stephen O'Donnell with a fifth for Falkirk. Robson trying to create something. We'll find Grant Smith. Smith passed his man nicely, and it's a good cross in, and Samuel is there, and it was almost a second goal for Colin Samuel. Good save by Lambers. Talima forward, it might come for Stokes here. Now Stokes, he's on a hat-trick, can he finish it off? Oh, the challenge was in there from Lee Wilkie, but the penalty has been given by Dougie McDonald. Lee Wilkie clearly feels he won the ball. McDonald feels he took the legs away from the Falkirk man. Stokes with a chance for a third for himself. And that's 5 for Falkirk, and it's a comprehensive victory for the home side now.
Well, Fraser, we'll get to the sacking of Craig Brewster later, but I think the action showed that Falkirk were really up for this game. It was a big one, wasn't it?
I think they're finally getting a return for their good play. Everybody talks about how Falkirk move the ball around and John Hughes encourages passing play, but their home record has been dreadful since they came up to the SPL. So I think from John Hughes' point of view, he'll be relieved to get a good result, an emphatic result, and probably one that just sealed the fate on Craig Brewster.
And John, Anthony Stokes, he's not just a goal scorer. I mean, he's shown on Saturday he can do that, but players like Russell Latby must enjoy playing with him, because any runs he makes and he'll spot them, no problem.
Yeah, well, and I think Stokes has done terrific since he came up, and it's a lot to ask. He's led the line a lot of times for Falkirk himself, and it's a lot of weight on a young lad's shoulders, but he's terrific, and I think Saturday was the first time that we've really seen a lot of composure from him. But you mean, it looks a terrific prospect, and hopefully Falkirk will be able to keep him at least for the rest of the season.
You've got to feel for him though, haven't you? Because here he is, he's bagged his first professional hat-trick, his team's won 5-1, and the story from that game is all about what happened to Craig Brewster.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate for the young lad, but he was brought in just on deadline day, and I think his fruits of John Hughes cultivating that relationship with Arsenal. I saw him earlier on this season, they had 2 strikers, Moutinho and Gow, and they needed somebody else to come in, and to bring an 18-year-old kid like that in and to get the results that he's brought in and the goals he's brought in, I think has been terrific. John,
you were involved in the deal that took Craig Levine to Dundee United. How did you find Eddie Thompson to deal with?
Well, Mrs Thompson made us brewed us some lovely coffee late into the night last night where we sorted it out.
Biscuits?
No, there's no chocolate biscuits because
it's disappointing.
Yes, I'm just trying to watch my weight and get down to your weight, Andy. But no, it was a late night meeting last night. Myself and Craig were up there and got it sorted out, and you mean Craig's delighted to be the manager of Dundee United today.
I just wonder, given the resources that Dundee United have, what's a reasonable level of expectation for them?
Well, I think that a reasonable level should be sort of at least mid-table in the SPL. You mean that I think they're the 6th biggest club in Scotland in terms of attendances and turnover, wages that they pay. So I think roundabout there should be where they're aiming for. But you mean it's a difficult job to turn it around. Their confidence is obviously low.
You mentioned it's a difficult job. What can Craig Levine do that so many others in really a relatively short space of time have failed at? I mean, it's a big ask at Dundee United, isn't it?
It is, but it's still a big club, and you mean they've got some terrific young players coming through. I think Stevie Campbell's done a terrific job with the youths, and they've got a lot of good young players coming through. But I think what they'll look to do is get some experienced players in. I think Craig Brewster even highlighted that after the game on Saturday, that they lack some experience. And I think that Craig will look to go in and try and sort of get them a little bit more solid and hopefully pick their confidence up, because they're still good players there.
I think that's a good point, Fraser, because when you look at Dundee United, there's very few players that you look at and think, well, he's a leader, he can give me something, I can rely on him.
Well, Craig Brewster did highlight that, and I do wonder whether he regrets getting rid of some of the experienced players just before deadline day during the last transfer window, perhaps looking longer term to bring the wage bill down, but you know nowadays that the length of tenure for any manager in the SPL is so short, you really have to look at it short term first and foremost.